Record on this computer. Good morning, everyone. We're here for Friday coffee chat with me, Suzanne Taylor, life coach. And we're not live today because of some technical difficulties. So we are recording this conversation for you, and I'm going to post it in a little bit. So if you're catching this recording and you have questions for me or my lovely guest, Michelle Robinson, today, post them in the comments and we will be monitoring it all day. So welcome, Michelle. Thanks for joining me for Friday Coffee Chat Live. Introduce yourself and give us a little background on your business.
Okay, so I'm Michelle Robinson. I'm a financial coach. What I do is I educate people in very basic financial principles so they can be empowered to make better decisions for themselves. I am one half of a fiduciary team. My husband holds that very fancy license. And, we specialize in that middle income market and, help people make better decisions. Been in business for 12 years, absolutely love what I do. I love helping people, reach their potential, both in business and personally.
Awesome. Well, that's why we connected. We were total strangers. One day we connected at Michael's over buying planners, and we've been in touch and supporting each other in one capacity or another ever since, which is amazing to me. So don't ever be afraid to talk to strangers. And I think that's a book that's out there right now, right?
Exactly.
Talking to strangers. So today we're going to dive into a little topic we decided on ahead of time because we both struggled with this, holding yourself back. And right now it's the time of coronavirus. And, I decided about 3 weeks ago that 20 years from now, I want to look back on this time and realize that I took a giant leap in my personal development and my business, that I pivoted in the exact direction I want to go and stop holding myself back from that. And Michelle and I have had numerous conversations about how she holds herself back. So I thought it was a perfect conversation for so many of us here at home. We are balancing either work, and work from home might be different for you because it's not different for me, but I'm working from home and being a teacher and a keeper off electronics, hovering mother. I'm also a diner chef. Apparently there's food available all the time, anytime here. And juggling all of that, I have found I'm holding myself back from the actual work I need to be stepping out doing in the world right now because of the home, pull and excuses. And I want to ask Michelle, where have you noticed during this time you holding yourself back a little bit?
Okay, so you know what? For me, Suzanne, this time has been a miraculous push.
Awesome.
Actually, whereas I held myself back before, but now is a time like you. We've had this conversation before that let's look back on this time and
Yeah.
see where did we grow? What can we do? What are the possibilities? The possibilities right now are endless because now the entire world is connected electronically. Now we can talk to anybody, anywhere, at any time. So now, not being the case, we have access to different meditation techniques. We have access to anything you want to learn. You want to learn how to sketch a squirrel? I mean, you can learn that if you want to. By the way, that's the one thing I learned.
That's awesome.
Fun fact, I learned to sketch. And I also like squirrel. So, but that is, it's different for me now than it was before this coronavirus time. And one thing that I've been saying from day one, this is the perfect opportunity for you, for people to study your owner's manual, learn what makes you tick, learn what your stumbling blocks are, and understand that you can overcome them. You can.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the big hurdles for me was actually admitting that I had some. I mean, that was the number one thing I had to do. 2 years ago, I invested in myself again with another coach and another program, thinking I needed, like I was missing something, right? Like I'm missing something. I'm searching. And really what I was missing was that internal belief and that internal trust. And I will say that investing in that program gave me a confidence I didn't have before. Now, was it because I spent thousands of dollars? Was it because of something Tony Robbins said? Was it something that one of my classmates said? I don't think so. I think it was, I finally took the time to slow down and actually look at where I was holding myself back. And 9 times out of 10, when I hold myself back, it's not because of lack of belief in myself. It's about that fear of what other people are going to think.
Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%. And you know what? Through, doing the work on myself and working with you in your mastermind program, I discovered the same thing.
Mhm.
I never did a Facebook Live before because I always thought, well, everybody is talking and everybody, I don't want to be that white noise. And God forbid, what if my brothers watch this? And,
Oh, yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
know, I might take some ribbing and some needling, or not. You never know.
Hmm.
But now I kind of don't care. I kind of don't care because there's such a collective fear out there, and there's such a collective uncertainty and unsettled, and much of it is surrounding money.
Yeah.
Much of it. And there are people advising how to meditate, take a walk, do this, do that, get some exercise. All these are great things. Eat well, get your vitamin D, get your vitamin C in powder form so it doesn't wreck your teeth. All these things.
Yeah.
Great advice. But one thing that you know about me, Suzanne, is that I know for sure you can have your spiritual life perfect. You can have your mental health perfect. You can have your physical health perfect. Your money house isn't right. You're not sleeping, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And and what's so powerful about that, you know, I meditate every day. I journal every day. I exercise in some form every day. I eat probably 98% of the time very, very healthy. But who can ignore cheese? Like, I'm sorry, I just can't, you know. And I like wine once in a while, so I have my chocolate cake thing that I do once in a while. And that's what life is for. It's not about completely eliminating all your favorite things. But I will say, with all of that work on myself, with all my education behind me, and all of like, and knowing that I've coached and helped so many thousands and thousands of people, there was still this little bit that was like, well, if I'm not making $1 million a year, am I really successful?
mm,
Oh, well, if I'm not making as much as that other famous coach who wrote a book and has a TV show and all this, am I really good enough? Hmm.
well, the
And
answer is, of course you are. The answer is, and this is true for anybody who, no matter what area of work that you work in, whatever you do, you have to play your course, and your
yes,
course is specifically designed for you. You have a message that only you can convey, right?
yeah,
That is not going to be, there might be people in your life that wouldn't receive it from somebody else the way they'll receive it from you. And so
exactly.
right? So whatever your message is, whatever whatever it is you work at, you've got to do, your voice matters. It
Well,
doesn't matter
in
what
order to get that voice out there, though, you can't care what other people think. So, meaning your next door neighbor, or, your mother in law, or your best friend from high school, or that old boyfriend who still follows you on Facebook. Hi, how you doing? Like, you can't care what they think. And this hit home for me, because apparently I had, in my younger years, this reputation for not caring what anybody thought.
Hmm.
And through all the work that I've done on myself, I said, what happened to her? What
Yeah.
happened to her?
Mm.
So, what happened to the girl who shaved half of her head in high school and dyed this side over here blue and put safety pins through her ear holes as earrings? Like, what? She obviously didn't care what anybody thought.
Right.
And I think now, as you get older, you build up all of these oh, well, I can't do that, or I shouldn't do that. And
Mm.
letting go of that involved me showing up to a client meeting wearing jeans and flip-flops and a short sleeve t-shirt.
Okay.
Um, that's how Tony Robbins shows up for his
Yeah.
coaching
Yeah.
clients that are paying $1 million a year. He shows
Right.
up
Right.
as him.
Steve Jobs always showed up in a t-shirt as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do what you do. You know what? I tend to be that way myself. You'll never find me in a three-piece suit. You never,
Yeah.
I'm a financial coach. I'm not Wall Street.
Yes.
I'm Main Street. I I
Oh,
am I
oh,
am you. I'm
love
every
that.
girl. Yeah. So I want to be approachable. I want to have my own
Hmm.
style. And by the way, in the 90s, I shaved half my head too. Huh.
Yeah. See, something else we have in common.
I never went for the blue dye and safety pins, but because I cared a little bit
Yeah.
about what people thought. But
Oh,
you
so
know
did
what?
I. So did
I
I.
I was that girl too in the 80s and the 90s. Like I didn't give a crap what anybody thought of what
Yeah.
until I started working on myself, and then you know, got the monkey in the back of my head, started
Hmm.
saying things like, "Really? I thought you were a French horn player. Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you know about an IRA?" So
Yeah.
I have to school the monkey now too.
And that comes from that internal self-talk, do you think? Do you think that's what's kind of helped you move past those times where you hold yourself back, where you actually are aware that, the monkey mind is saying, who are you to do that? And why should
Yeah,
you do that? And, oh,
right.
you're not smart enough to do that. And you actually talk back to it. I mean,
True.
that's what's helped me, having
Yeah.
that internal conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all conditioning. It's all
Yeah.
conditioning. You have to, like, again, I'll say it again. Now is a perfect time to really study your owner's manual and figure out what's going on in there, because that conditioning,
Hmm.
examine what you believe, because I guarantee you a lot of it is not your beliefs. Somebody else put it there. Somebody else put it there. And so deciphering what the monkey's saying, is that really what you believe, or is the monkey telling you something that you might think you believe it, but don't
Hmm.
believe everything you think? That's a whole nother conversation. You might
Yeah.
think you believe it because maybe somebody important in your life said it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of my father's voice in my head, a lot, a
Yeah.
lot. My father who would say things like, "You can't just buy a tent and go camping. You have to study that." What? Dad, I bought a tent. I'm going camping. What could go wrong? Well,
Yeah.
it's at a facility where there's running water and electricity.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
hiking the
not walking the
Appalachian Trail.
trail. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have a nephew who did that. Talk about empowered. I
Yeah.
mean,
I have a
talk about
friend who did that too.
yeah. My brother did an amazing job with his boys, and really, my brother and my sister-in-law, totally empower these kids to have and do and be whatever they want to have and do and be. Something I also try to instill in my children: have and do and be whatever you want to have
Yeah.
and do and be. And I hope, I pray that I am not the monkey in the back of their head, right?
Well, I think that's the goal, right? To not pass those hang-ups or holdbacks or limiting beliefs on to your kid. And I've caught myself numerous times where I wanted to say, we're not spending money right now, to we're saving for vacation right now.
Yeah,
Or I don't have any money in my wallet right now. We can't afford that. I've caught myself
Mhm.
saying that as an excuse not to buy junk he doesn't need. Let's
Mm.
not have that be the excuse. Let's
No,
have
what,
it,
let's be real. Yeah.
yeah, let's be
Be
real and
real.
say, do you really need another piece of plastic? We've talked about how plastic production is destroying this planet. Do you really need another piece of plastic that's going to go in the drawer in 10 minutes? The answer
Yeah.
is no. I'm letting him make his own choices about the environment. And he's going to have enough limiting beliefs growing up.
Mhm.
I don't want him to have mine too.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing I've learned. My children are adults now, so having
Yeah.
adult children, I've learned that they develop their own
Hmm.
beliefs, and they certainly don't need mine. It's
No.
um, but how wonderful for your son and all kids who are now having more time, more contact with parents who have that awareness that you are now doing such a service to him by teaching him how to think, not
Yeah.
what to think.
Yeah.
And I love that, and I'm really looking forward to the ripple effect of that.
Well, I think I might do a Friday coffee chat with my son,
Do it. That would be
before,
great.
the
Yeah.
coronavirus quarantine is over, because he hears me, on Zoom calls with people. He was sitting here in my office last night. I was on a networking Zoom last night
Mhm.
with 80 people, and they did breakout rooms down to 6. And he heard how I talk about myself and what I do. He's heard it 100 times, right?
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
been with me when I've met strangers. Yeah,
Mhm.
he was with me when
Mhm.
I met you and rolling his eyes like, oh my God, my
Yes,
mom's talking
I
to another
remember
stranger. And I will tell you that he looks at me different as a coach, as a mentor, than he does as a mom, because he hears what comes out of my mouth to my clients.
that. Mhm.
And that growth mindset has has been for me. So I know growth mindset over here, I know it's there. Fixed mindset, how I grew up, how I was for 30 years of my
Yeah.
life.
Mhm.
Well, now there's this place in between. And closing that gap has been the mission, you know?
Mhm.
So I stop holding myself back. And I want to know, and I want you to share, if you're up for it, how you have realized where and when you're holding yourself back, and what do you do to move past it?
Okay. I can
Okay,
definitely address that.
awesome.
So there's this coach I know. Her name is Suzanne, by the way,
Mm,
and
hi.
and so I have the exact same stuff. I have over here I'm Michelle. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a friend. I'm all that. I'm a French horn player. I'm somebody's mom. I'm somebody's daughter. I'm all of that. I'm somebody's
Mm-hmm.
sister. Um, and then over here I have my financial coach person. And you have actually helped me close that gap. But a
Awesome.
lot of places where I hold myself back are in my most personal goals, my most personal goals. Maybe eating better. Like you said, you eat 98%, 99.98% very, very well. I'm
98, maybe 97. But
probably,
when I'm off, I'm off. Like it's
yeah,
all in.
yeah, I'm probably about 80%. I would say
Okay.
80
That's pretty
because you know
good.
what?
That's pretty good.
Pork roll is still in production. I mean, come
Mm.
on.
It is
Not
really good.
It is. It's very good. Actually, I haven't had that in probably 6, 8 months, maybe. I've been following a vegetarian diet.
Hmm.
But one thing I know about myself is when the chips are down, when I'm fretting, and when I'm nervous, I am an anxious eater. I wish I had the opposite problem where, some people can't eat when they're anxious. Not
Yeah.
me. Not me. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
And I have actually spoken out loud. I do different things now. I just only keep healthy food in the house, but sometimes I'm in an environment where like right now I happen to be holding fort at a campground, and they put a perimenopausal woman in charge of ordering the snacks. So, so I actually, speak out loud. I have to speak out loud. I am stronger than a bag of potato chips. What
Yeah.
I want long term is more important to me than what I want right now. And that translates to your financial life too.
Hmm.
You know, what you want long term, it could be, and if you shift your mindset, what you want long term is generally more important than what you want right now. So that, I mean,
Truthfully.
that's one way. I mean, I've managed to overcome that financially. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm a woman who will, do my own nails and put $30 in my savings account. I do that. Just do these little tricks um, on myself, because in
Yeah.
what I want long term, what my 67-year-old self wants is very
Yeah.
different than what my, 50 something self wants.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one place where I hold myself back. And sometimes in scheduling too, you can't get the time back, and you have to invest the time the right way. And I have to talk out loud to my calendar as well, and say, okay, I am stronger than the things that distract me. And here's the
Oh, yeah.
plan. Yeah, I have to sit down and really, ABC my day, and make sure every single thing that needs to get done that day is written down. Because of course, if it's not written down, there it
Yeah.
goes. So that was a place where once I struggled a great deal, but and still sometimes I still lapse. Nobody's perfect. If I get a call from my sister who lives in Italy, I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take that call.
Oh,
Even if it's
yeah.
for 40 minutes, I don't care for how long. I don't,
Yeah.
especially
Oh, you muted.
sorry about that.
That's okay.
uh,
Were you saying?
incoming. So I was saying about scheduling and
Hmm.
staying hard and fast to my schedule.
Yeah.
One of my other coaches in business taught me many years ago that things don't pop up in your schedule. If you hold a schedule, things don't pop up.
Nope.
But you know what? My sisters, they can pop up at any time they want.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Well, that's different.
yeah,
Somebody living out of the country, different time zones. That's
yeah,
something totally different. When
yeah.
things pop up in your schedule and you work for yourself like we do, you don't have the right boundaries in place.
Hmm.
And I notice with 90% of my clients and myself, when I create those boundaries in my schedule, these are my work hours. This is when I look at email. I only look at email once a day. So if you
Hmm.
don't hear back from me till the next day, that's why. It's because I only check email once a day. Um, I answer text messages as, but right now my phone is upside down. It's here. It's not on. I can't hear the notifications and I can't see the notifications because I'm here with you right now.
Hmm.
And I'll answer those text messages as soon as we get off. So it's within an hour. I mean,
Yeah,
that's pretty good. But I've
yeah.
already set that boundary with my clients and my friends. They know that you're not going to get instant gratification from me during work hours. And
Hmm.
that's helped a lot.
Yeah.
Me prioritize what are my three big rocks for today? What are those three big things I'm going to put in my to-do jar?
Hmm.
And then what are the small things that can fit in between those big things? And then there might be some water that goes in the jar or some sand that fills in the open spaces. And right now I'm working on three huge projects that need an
Hmm.
hour a day every day this week.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's in my calendar. It's blocked. And if somebody calls, my phone is not going to be where I'm at working on those projects.
Right, right. So one of the key words you said right there, Suzanne, was boundaries.
Mm,
Boundaries are such a healthy thing, and I used to be afraid to put boundaries in place. I was a girl who didn't have boundaries. Anything you want, I'll do it. Anything. I mean, well, also I was fortunate enough. And I consider myself extremely fortunate to have been a stay-at-home mom for 16
Mm.
years. And so, yeah, I was the neighborhood babysitter. All the kids stayed at
Yeah.
my house, and yes, I would bake cookies for them, and yes, we would do crafts, and all that stuff. I was just yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
yes,
yes,
and even
yes.
up and volunteered my ears off, and with the church and with the Boy Scouts and with all of the things. But boundaries are important not only in your relationships, but certainly in your relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
You need to block out that time for not only for you, for your mental and spiritual health, to tend to that, but whatever your goals are, you have to get clear on what the goal is, or multiple goals, like you have. We can do more than one thing at a time if we schedule it,
Yeah.
right? But the boundaries have to be there. You can't just on a whim, ask me to go out to lunch that day and expect me to say yes.
Yeah.
There's,
Well, I used to. I used to do that. I used to do
yeah,
that with my
me
close
too.
friends. And
Yeah.
I had to explain to them that when I do that, it derails my whole entire week of work because I haven't planned for that work time to go somewhere else. So then
Mhm,
I feel like I'm running behind. When I feel
mhm.
like I'm running behind, I feel overwhelmed. So I'm not doing that anymore. So I can have lunch with you 3 weeks from now. And then it's in my schedule and it's
Yeah.
blocked out and I can
Mhm.
plan for that time off from work.
Yes.
Just because you
Yeah.
work for yourself doesn't mean that you can
Right.
take off whenever you want and expect
Right.
everything to still get done.
Right. That's
And I
so funny.
really, I really like what you said about the boundaries that we create enable you to do more. By saying
Yeah.
no, you can say yes to the things that are truly important to you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think, how has realizing that changed your perspective on what you're doing for people?
Well, I've always been a yes person. I prefer to be a yes person, even in bringing up my children. Years and not years on years, just a couple years ago.
Just years. Just years. It's fine.
They're all in their 20s,
Yeah.
so it's So if we rewind a decade when they were all teenagers and younger, they can tell you that my answer, whatever they asked, the answer always was yes, but, and
Yes.
especially when I started in this business, the answer is yes, but we have to do that on Thursday. The
Hmm.
answer is yes, yes,
And we have to do that on Thursday.
right, yes, oh yes, and but no, it has to be a but. Yes, but it has to be at this day, this time.
Yeah.
Um, Perfect example. A young child will ask for a cookie at 5 minutes before dinner, and
Hmm.
the answer is always yes. You can have that after we have
After
dinner.
dinner.
Yeah, yes, or maybe
Yes.
too late at night. Yes, you can have that tomorrow at snack time.
Yeah.
Yes, you can pull out those toys tomorrow in the afternoon. Yeah,
Hmm.
yes, I could read you another story tomorrow when you wake up. Yeah, and so the answer is always yes. Yes, I can meet you for coffee, but probably not till next week,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so I have a really a great friend who we do that. We have to, because she works for herself too, and we
Hmm.
have to schedule that time in,
Yeah.
and I like it because she gets it, because she's in the same position, the same boat. But there was a time early on in my career where I thought, well, I work for myself. You want to go for coffee? Sure, I can just do this later.
Well, I will
Later never
tell
comes.
you, my husband started working from home about 4 years ago.
Mhm.
And I thought, okay, I have my office, which is a whole room of my house that's all set up for me. He's not putting his office in here. Like, oh,
Yeah,
no, 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 no,
yeah.
this is my room.
I got you. I
And
hear.
so we kind of retooled, our room purpose. And now our spare bedroom is half spare bedroom with a futon type sofa and his
Mhm.
office. and it's very masculine. We painted it,
Mhm.
more masculine curtains and blinds. And he's got a window air conditioner because it's the hottest room of the house. Like, we really made it his space. And I will tell you that his boundaries around work inspired me, and he's going to be surprised if he watches this to learn that he actually inspired me, because maybe I need to tell him that more often. um, he created work hours for himself: what time he gets up, what time he starts work, what time he takes his first call. He schedules his lunch break. He comes down to the kitchen, like it's sometimes like it's a cafeteria, but mostly to prepare the food for himself
Mhm.
at his scheduled time. Not when
Yeah.
I'm eating, not when, and I noticed how much work he was getting done. And I asked him, how do you manage 40 projects? That would be like me having 40 one-on-one clients.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And he said he schedules each and every aspect of his day. And he showed me how he, with color blocks, and he talked about how he
Mhm.
does it. And I said, I got to do that. No more of, because I felt like running out to lunch or running to get coffee, or, oh, we need groceries today. Let me go now, before my work was completed,
Mhm.
was a form of holding myself back, was a
Yeah.
form of that self
Avoidance.
sabotage.
It's avoidance. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Or procrastination. I like
Yeah.
to think of myself as a master procrastinator. Um, I can find something more fun and more exciting to do than cleaning or laundry anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always 1,000 things that are more fun to do than that.
Yeah.
But if you begin with the end in mind, like we do with all else, then
Hmm.
how nice is it going to feel when you're taking those
Oh,
clothes line, or how nice is it going to feel when the place is all clean,
yeah.
and and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I want to wrap up today our little, it's been so nice having you on my Friday morning coffee chat. And this is the third one in the series. And this is, I'm booked out until June. So this is super
Wow.
exciting for
Good.
me. Lots of amazing people going to be joining us in the future. And I want to give you a chance to tell people how to find you on Facebook or
Yeah.
LinkedIn, whatever you want to share.
Okay.
And I want to encourage everybody to go over and like the Team Robinson page that's tagged here in the video. Go ahead, Michelle, wrap us up.
Okay, so um, you can find me on Facebook, Team Robinson, or I have a newly created group because I was brave enough to do it. It's called Win, What's Important Now. And in that group, we're going to be talking about what's important now, not only financially, but a little bit mentally. One of my taglines is I like to help you raise your vibe while lowering your costs. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. Um, so that's Win, What's Important Now, or you can go visit my website directly. It is www .primerica.com/Michelle Robinson. That's Michelle Robinson, Robinson.
Awesome. And we'll put all the links in the comments of this
Yeah, for sure.
video. We'll put Michelle's page for you to like, and we'll put her website, and we'll also put an invite to her group. So thank
Yeah,
you so much,
yeah.
Michelle, for being
Oh,
here,
thanks
and
for having me. Always a
have an
pleasure.
awesome Friday.
Yeah, you do the same. Fry yay.
Friday. All right.
All right. Take care, Suzanne.
You too.